What's up guys, the Snowman here, and today's objective is very simple. I'm going to take different pieces from all the top players on the ATP Tour and try to put them together to construct one perfect 2018 male tennis player. So I will have a part 2 of this video series coming soon for the perfect women's tennis player. But for now, let's get our hands dirty, let's get our Frankenstein on. Let's begin with some on-court attributes, and I'm going to begin with the most important stroke in the game of tennis, that is the serve. I'll split it up into two people, so for starters, I will take John Isner's T serve. And this year, again, the big serving American, number 1 in terms of top 50 players for ace percentage. He serves an ace 24% of the time, and this season, 48% of the time, he's going up the tee, and he's winning 82% of those points, so he has been gouging opponents up the middle on the deuce side. And then for the other way, I'm going Milos Raonic and his wide serve. The missile, also top 3 in ace percentage this year, and he's going wide on the deuce side 55% of the time this season, winning 81% of those points. With John Isner's tee and Milos Raonic's wide serve, I think we're going to win a lot of free and easy points and get off to a lot of early leads in matches. Novak Djokovic's return, this is an easy one. He's top 3 again in terms of percentage of return games won. And for Djokovic, we know he does it at the most opportune times. Specifically for me, I'm thinking his run in Cincinnati this year where he beat Milos Raonic. Raonic was really thumping his serves, getting in a lot of first serves, and specifically raising the MPH to the low 140s. He was smoking the ball, and Djokovic just effortlessly deflecting it back right at the missile's feet. This guy's return, his timing ability is unmatched. He's the greatest returner in the history of the game, in my opinion, so I'm going Djokovic's return. We've got a good serve at this point. We've got a good return. Let's bag us a good forehand. I'm going Juan Martín del Potro's forehand, nicknamed Thor, and despite his 4 wrist surgeries, 3 of them on the left wrist that have really hindered his backhand, his forehand is still doing just fine. He can frequently hit winners over 100 miles per hour, and I think his best shot is really when he is on the run, he gets stretched out, he really can extend his 6'6" frame, and that running forehand of his, he just smokes it, smacks it across the court. Del Po, your forehand is one of the most supreme in the game. Stan Wawrinka's backhand, I really wanted a one-handed backhand for my Frankenplayer. I could have gone maybe with the grace of Gasquet, perhaps the fluidity of Federer, but I'm a guy who likes power, and when the Stanimal grips it and rips it, whether that's up the line or cross court, he can really pepper the ball, puts power on it like few others. I'm going the Stanimal's one-handed backhand. Dominic Thiem's topspin. Maybe a lot of you really got to know this guy during the US Open when he had that epic 5-setter against Rafael Nadal, but there's a reason he is the Prince of Clay. Last couple of years, he is in the upper 3,000s in terms of RPMs or revolutions per minute. That's how much spin you're putting on the ball, how much topspin you can generate. So basically, he puts a ton of topspin on his forehand, and that is why, especially on clay, the ball bounces so high. It's so tough for opponents to get back. That's why he's nicknamed the Prince of Clay. That's why when Nadal retires, Dominic Thiem is probably going to be the favorite in plenty of Roland Garroses to come. How about Jack Sock's volleying? Let's give some more love to an American. This guy has had a down season in terms of singles, but doubles-wise, he has been on a tear. He won Wimbledon and US Open with the team of he and Mike Bryan, and that's thanks in large part mostly to his volleying ability. Very soft hands, he gets low, and he's able to direct it forehand or backhand. He's got a great volley, and that's why he helped Team World win actually all 3 doubles events of this previous Laver Cup. I love Sock's volleying ability and his touch around the net. Andy Murray's movement, this is an easy one. He is a defensive player. He's won 3 Grand Slams thanks in large part mostly to his ability to run down every single ball. He's like those old Pong video games, just gets everything back. His movement is amazing, and that's why Muzzard has 3 Grand Slams in the trophy case. Nick Kyrgios' tweener. And this is a guy who's so bold, so brash, not afraid to go for any shot in the book. And maybe this is a little bit more about his bravery than specifically his tweener, because some of them are absolute duds, some of them beautiful, but a lot of them he'll try to hit that forward-facing tweener, and we don't know why he does a lot of the things that Kyrgios does, but I'm going Kyrgios' tweener. I love his bravery, his moxie, his gutsiness on the court, never afraid to try any shot in his arsenal. Let's move to some physical attributes now. I want Jo-Wilfried Tsonga's biceps and upper body. This dude absolutely jacked up top. The Frenchman, I know he's been injured for most of this year, so his ranking has really dropped. He's out of the top 100 now, I believe, but certainly his upper body, he's doing just fine. Lower body, I want Hyun Chung's quads. Let's put it this way, the young Korean who won the ATP Next Gen Finals last year in Milan, he does not skip leg day. This dude is a beast. With him and Tsonga, putting those two guys together, we are going to be built. And up top, I want Stefanos Tsitsipas' hair. Most of you probably know the Greek freak in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Well, there's another Greek freak, and he is here on the ATP Tour, just 20 years old, but Tsitsipas from Greece is a menace, and I think his hair could be one of his major calling cards throughout his career. All right, I think we're doing good so far. Let's move to some intangibles, and let's go to the GOAT, Roger Federer. I want his clutchness. I mean, what more can you say about this guy? You probably could put him for any number of these categories, but this year he's at 70% of opponents' break points saved. So he really, that's number 3 on the tour. He comes through in the clutch, and he still has the best tiebreak record of all time in men's tennis history. So, Fed, what can we say? He gets it done when it matters most, and that's why he's got 20 Grand Slams. On the topic of Federer, probably one name he doesn't want to hear right now, John Millman. John Millman's endurance is what I want for our perfect male tennis player. What he did upsetting Fed at the US Open in the round of 16 a month ago was amazing. It was a very, very humid, blistering, hot fortnight in Flushing Meadows. But John Millman, who was forged down under in the Australian sun, basically just outlasted Fed in those marathon conditions. And he's John Millman's endurance. Give me that for the Frankenplayer. Rafael Nadal's toughness. I don't think he will ever be accused of giving anything less than 100% on each and every single point. One of the best fighters the sport of tennis has ever seen. And on that same kind of topic, I'm going David Ferrer's work rate, nicknamed by the great Brad Gilbert the Little Beast, and I think that's very appropriate. Really, both Nadal and Ferrer well known for never giving up on any point, giving 110% each and every point. No free lunch per se with David Ferrer. That's why he's the Little Beast. Alexander Zverev's future. He's still just 21 years old. It seems like the German has been in the top 5 though for quite some time now, and he's already got 3 Masters 1000 titles. He won Rome and Canada last year, Madrid this year, and Tsonga's actually the only other non-Big Four player, active player, with more than 1 Masters 1000 title. So Alexander Zverev right there already in terms of everything non-Grand Slams. The big question for him, though, is when will he get it done at a major? I'm sure it's going to come sooner rather than later, and his future is definitely as bright as they come. Kevin Anderson's professionalism. This guy is just the consummate professional. What a great temperament. The 31-year-old took the college route, went to the University of Illinois, graduated back in 2007, and now the 31-year-old finally broke through on the tour to his first Grand Slam final last year, making the US Open final, losing to Nadal last year, and then again he beats Fed in Wimbledon this season, makes the Wimbledon final unfortunately for him, loses to Joker in London, but 2 Grand Slam finals in the last 12 months. This guy is on a roll now. He's a late bloomer, and I credit a lot of that to Kevin Anderson's just insane professionalism. Grigor Dimitrov's swag. I mean, if you just take one look at this guy, you could tell he's probably one of the most popular guys off the court on the ATP Tour. I just feel like he's friends with every single other top player. Everybody wants to talk to this guy. So cool. Look at some of these outfits this dude is repping. Grigor can pull pretty much anything off. That's why, it's not just about the on-court ability. We need a little swag, and I'm going to you for this, Grigor. I'm going to you. Tennis Sandgren's name. What are we talking about? We're talking about the perfect 2018 male tennis player. In order to build this tennis player, we need a tennis name. Tennis Sandgren. You might know him from his run at the Australian Open this season. Well, Tennis Sandgren, he's really more than just a name, the American. A late bloomer, kind of like Kevin Anderson now. I believe he's in his mid-20s. But what better name for our tennis player? Denis Shapovalov's passion. This kid, I just love watching him play. He is so electric, just 19 years old. Has already made a couple Masters 1000 semifinals. Made Canada last year and then Madrid this season. He's right there with Sasha Zverev as far as I'm concerned. He's going to be there in the next 10, 15 years, winning Grand Slams, competing for every trophy imaginable. And I think a lot of that due to his passion. A match can turn. He can be down 6-2, love 3, and it can turn like that with him because of his passion, his ability to flip the switch. It's electric. It's unlike many other players, and I love it. Speaking of Denis Shapovalov, the final piece to our male Frankenplayer, I'm going Tessa Shapovalov. That is the coach of young Denis. Also his mother. Look, any woman who can pull double duty as both a mother and a coach deserves a whole lot of credit. Also this year she's been bringing their little stuffed animal, kind of their team's mascot, a wolf named Storm, I believe. She's been bringing that for good luck to all of Denis's matches. So she's really cool though. Been training Denis since he was a young boy, and just props to her. She just seems like a great mom, great coach. She's gonna be coaching our ideal male 2018 tennis player. All right, hopefully our Frankenplayer that we created today can compete for some Grand Slams. Anything less than a 100-0 record in this upcoming 2019 season would be a huge disappointment. So yeah, if you like this video, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media. Quick shout out, Quinton Orr, Connor Leeson. Thank you guys for the support and the subscriptions. You guys are awesome. But yeah, other than that, I'll be back soon, and happy tennis.